Hello, welcome back to Whiskey with E. I'm Eric. Now today, a whiskey without the E, alright? We have Archie Rose Blasphemy, alright? So, before I get into this, about this release, let me just tell you. Alright, so Archie Rose, established in 2014, let's just say they are very interesting. They're very innovating, alright? So, keep in mind, normal bourbon mash bills are there's only so much in the mash bill, alright? Let me tell you what Archie Rose uses for their single malts, alright? So, number one, they have Australian pale malt, the Latrobe variety coming out of Eastern Australia. They have peated malt, which is the Chariot variety from Caithness, Scotland. They have Australian amber malt, which is coming out of Scope Commander varieties, coming also out of Eastern Australia. Fourth malt they use is caramel malt, which is the Latrobe and Gardner varieties, also coming out of Eastern Australia. The fifth malt, aromatic roasted malt, mixed variety, coming out of Germany. And the last but not least, alright, is the local New South Wales chocolate malt. Alright, so that is, what is it? The Commander and Westminster varieties, also coming out of Eastern Australia. Whew! Now that we got the malt out of the way, like what the single malt is made out of, let me explain a little something. So, everything that they use, right, is combined, like all these malts are combined into one mash. Then it's fermented, alright, in a single wash, before distillation. Alright, so obviously they mature all their single malts in predominantly 100 to 200 and 300 litre Australian Apera. Alright, so that is like a fortified wine, very sweet, it's white. It's like a cherry. It's a cherry, it's a fortified wine, alright? They also use, complemented with a selection of ex-bourbon cask, and they also use their very own Archie Rose, the, what they used? The ex-rye cask that has been, that was first filled and 36-month air dried. There you go. And they age all their spirits for up to 3 years. There you go. Now that that's all out of the way, let's pour this up. And let me just stress to you the color of this. Look how dark that is, guys. Can you even see? I know that the glass is probably dirty, but it is just so dark. All right. Now, while that's sitting there, let me describe to you about this release. All right. So this release is called Blasphemy. All right. Blasphemy. This is pretty much them using the Archie Rose single malt whiskey. They teamed up with a company called St.Ali. Alright, so St.Ali Coffee Roasters is coming out of Melbourne. They teamed up with them to create this blasphemy of a creation. Now, so let me explain to you in simple terms. Bourbon proof down their bourbons with Kentucky water or, Tennessee lime water or whatever. Alright, so this particular release has been proofed down using the St.Ali Orthodox and Wide Awake coffee. So two different types of coffee styles. Just putting it out there, right? So that's why they call this a profane distortion of coffee and whiskey. Alright, so there you go. Alright, color obviously very dark from the coffee, I'm guessing. But now, since this has had time to obviously open up a lot, it's gotten a lot more mellow, alright, more toned down. But on the nose, originally, if you dig, you're going to get those malty notes, alright? So there's the malty notes. But then, it's just wrapped in all this sweet berries and jams, and it's like plum or raisins. So, yeah, because when I first had it, guys, I was comparing it to like a good cognac. So, when you have a a nice cognac and you're getting those raisins, or it's just real predominantly sweet, this is what you're getting here. Now don't be scared if you were, you're seeing this and you thought to yourself coffee and whiskey, and if you didn't like coffee, don't think that this tastes like coffee. This tastes nothing like coffee. I'm not even getting the coffee on the nose, guys. Like, yeah, you are getting a dark chocolate note, but it's not milk chocolate. It's that dark chocolate with the jams and those fillings. But overall, it's just like berries and jams and all sorts of shenanigans, guys. Actually, we'll have a little read at the back after I have a little sip. But cheers, everyone. So this is what I say. Try some alternatives. Now this to me is definitely an alternative. I mean, I don't get to try too much Australian whiskies, even though I live in Australia. And for something to get proofed down with cold brew coffee, it's just bedazzling to my brain. So I just had to try it, give you my thoughts. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've tried this release by Archie Rose teaming up with St.Ali's. Alrighties, let's just have a sip, guys. Cheers, everyone. Alright, so when you're splushing it, you are getting those notes of the malty notes come up. But as soon as you let it roll through your palate, down your throat hole, let's just say it's just so approachable. There is no bite to this, alright? It's just very rounded off, very S-wordy, very approachable. But it's just coated in all this. It's almost like, it's not watery, it's almost like thick, and it's sweet. You're just getting all those jam notes, guys. It's just so sweet, like jams and all sorts of sweetness, alright, guys? I mean, you're even getting the vanillas at the end, like you're getting some of the oak presence, but it's just so surrounded with all this jam goodness. Anyways, it's just very interesting. But let me describe to you. After you do drink some for a while, eventually the flavors is just one noted, alright? So you eventually get used to it, and that's all that you're getting. Not saying that this note is not, it's not boring, alright? It's actually very interesting, very unique. So if you wanted something that's very interesting, very unique, something sweet, give this a try, guys. You know what? Let's just have some more. Cheers, everyone. Now the lingering flavors do carry on into like a dark chocolate, like the back end, but don't confuse it to be like a long Kentucky hug, because it is only bottled at 40%, which is 80 proof. This particular bottle is a bottle number 2275 out of 20,000, bottled on the June 2021. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but very interesting. That's all I can say. You just have to try it for yourselves to really know what's coming out of this. But let me have a little read for you, so what they say at the back, right? A precious subversion of two liquid obsessions that give rise to a collision of aromatic stewed apples